Hello, my name is Chris, and this is one of my first tech YouTube videos. I just received the Samsung Z Fold 3. Now, this is an amazing phone. I absolutely love it, and I'm going to give you some reasons why I love it, some things I hate about it. There's not a lot of those, so if you're thinking about getting this video, tune in, stay tuned, watch what I'm going to say because there's a lot here. So I'm going to make this very quick, very simple. The first thing is, this phone is amazing. It opens up, and it's hard to see because, this camera is not capturing it in its full glory. But you can see that thin line in the middle here. When you're looking at it straight on, you can't. It's gone. And I know the screen is pretty bright, so it makes it hard to tell. Let me lower that brightness a little bit. You can't see that thin line in the middle at all while you're using it. Like, I'm constantly looking at it straight on. It's gone. Completely gone. Other parts is there's a camera built in behind the screen. So if I go to the camera right here, there's a camera built in behind the screen. And if I swap cameras to show the front camera, which I'll do right now, the front camera, you can see that black dot right there, right? That's the camera. It's behind the screen. If I flip this around, I'm trying to, there we go. It goes behind the screen. You can't even tell it's there. You see that? Only because you're watching on a camera that will capture those pixels can you see those little flickering. But you can't see that with your naked eye. That's gone. Now that front screen camera is terrible. Just going to say it outright. I think it's only 4 megapixels, something like that. It's a really bad camera. I'm a professional photographer, and I would never use this camera for anything other than just sending it to my friends, doing some FaceTimes kind of deal. I know this is a Samsung. They have their own duos or Facebook videos, stuff like that. That's what I would use this camera for. Never would I sit here and be like, I'm going to get a good selfie, aim this at myself and be like, yeah, that was a good selfie. That's not going to happen. But it's a camera, and it's behind a screen that has pixels there. It shuts off those pixels and takes a photo. It's amazing. I'm thrilled with that. But I don't use it. What I do use, though, is the screen out here is camera. Let's get that in focus. This camera is actually fairly fantastic. It's not as good as the back cameras that you have on these 3 right here, but it is still a very decent selfie camera. Now, problems with this selfie camera is normally when you're using it, it'll take a photo in a normal aspect ratio. But if you're using some sort of app like Snapchat or something like that, what it'll do is, if you see this phone screen is really thin, normally you have a little extra on the side here, it will take a photo at this aspect ratio and send it on things like Snapchat. So when somebody opens your Snapchat, it's going to be thinner. It's going to look weird. But at the same time, it's a good-looking camera. It has no real issues. I use it. I have no problem with it. Some people who are sitting there like, I want to have a good photo with this camera, and I want it to be professional, you wouldn't be able to use it. On the other camera, on the back, though, there's a lot of benefits to this. This back camera, you can't really see it, unfortunately, because we're looking through a filtered video here. But it's 12 megapixel on each of these. One of them's a telephoto lens, one of them's an ultra wide, and one of them's just a regular lens. And all 3 of them do a fantastic job. Most of the processing is done software-wise, so you'll have Samsung's, whatever their proprietary software is for getting a photo looking good, they have that going on in this phone. So whether or not you have the Samsung S20 or the S20 Ultra, S21, something like that, versus this, you're going to get the same processing on your camera's photos, despite which phone you have. And I'll say right now, like, I've taken a few ultra wide photos on this camera, and they look great, honestly. I zoom in really far. I'm not seeing pixelation or issues. I am a photographer in general. Got a photography tattoo, as you can tell I'm serious about it. And I really actually love this camera. I've used this a couple times for actual shots for people, because even though I have professional cameras, I was like, hey, I can get a really good wide angle for you here. Let me go ahead and take that. And that's the thing. It's waterproof. It's water resistance, whatever you want to call it. You can drop this in a tub of water and it'll be fine. You can accidentally drop it in your toilet. It'll still work. I mean, I wouldn't go underwater scuba diving with this camera, but each section of it is waterproofed. They waterproof specifically each of these areas. The center here, this hinge, is not exactly the same with the waterproofing, but what they do is they have some brushes in there. They block out like things that could get stuck in there, dirt, dust, things like that, and they push it away. So it's fairly durable. I've had it in my pocket for weeks now, and I've had no issues. So there's really no way I would worry about this thing having issues from dirt, dust, water, anything like that. So let me get to some of the cons. There's a lot of them, but they're not deal breakers, right? So I'm going to take off this case here, which is the first time I've taken it off since I've gotten the phone. But when I first got this case, it was just like this, right? You have your phone, and it's just a phone. When you close this thing up, it is kind of hard to get the purchase to open it up. You see my finger slipping there? It slips. It's not easy to open and close. That issue is easily resolved. You get any case, especially something with some rubber. This one I got for VRS Designs. Not sponsored, just a VRS Designs case that I really like here. It's got some texture there, and you can see it. Get a case with some texture and you'll be fine. This one I love because it actually has this. It's a nice little kickstand. Works great. Let me go ahead and put this back on real quick. And sorry, I'm not going to edit this this video probably, so you guys are going to get me in my full unedited style. Hopefully it doesn't turn you guys off to watching my videos. I'm not normally a tech reviewer, but I do enjoy tech, and that's why I'm doing this, is that reason. So yeah, here we go. We got it. Look at that. I am holding it on with this nice little kickstand. This kickstand works great. You can actually flip it so that it goes the other way directionally too. So let's say you're at a higher angle. You can watch it like that. It's a good kickstand, okay? Doesn't work this way. You try to put it this way, it'll just fall over. And yeah, but it's not an issue because almost every single app will rotate to whichever direction you want to go. Kickstand's pretty great. VRS Designs. Recommend it. It's great. It's like $40. Get it if you're going to get this phone. There's other ones you can get. I recommend this one. Other issues I've had. Let me think. So, overall, my biggest issue I think I've had other than the grip is battery life. Battery life is great if you're just doing normal everyday things and you don't have your brightness setting all the way high. Like, the brightness setting I have it at right now is about halfway there, and it works just fine. Like, it's very bright, even at halfway. If you turn it all the way up, your battery life's going to just die really quickly. I would give you maybe 4 or 5 hours of battery life before it dies if you have it on bright all the time and you're actually using the phone. If you drop it down lower to like halfway, you're going to get, I want to say you're going to get double, if not triple, the battery life. I've been having mine at double all day. I've been using this phone for 13, 14 hours right now, and I'm not having any issues. I'm down to my last 10% right now, but that's because I haven't charged it since this morning. I've put it on this little guy here. I can't really pull it up all the way. I have a little like 5-watt charger that I drop it on. It's a wireless charger, but it charges like 1% every 10 minutes. It's nothing special. So the actual phone itself will hold a charge. You just have to not be using your brightness at max. And I know that's an issue for a lot of people because I'm the type of person who will always have my brightness at max. But if you're indoors, you're not outside, you don't need the brightness at max. You can drop it down to 50% and it'll still be as clear as day. You won't have an issue with it. Another issue I have with it would be forced restarts. And what I mean by that is you can open up an app. Let me see if I can show you exactly what I mean. You can open up an app. Right? Here's Instagram. Boom. There's some friends of mine. They're posting a picture. If I close this, it won't show it. And if I open it back up, there's a chance that it'll go back to it right there, and it'll say, hey, there it is. There's also a chance it'll say Instagram needs force restarted to use this new aspect ratio. That's not the exact wording, but close enough. You might have an issue. So that's a big deal, is if you are working on a document, you're working on some sort of video, you might need to have to deal with a force restart occasionally on an app, because that app is not the same aspect ratio. Now, it's a very rare issue, but it does happen. And it's very frustrating when it does, because I'll be working on something, or I'll be typing to somebody, I'll maybe be making a message, and I'll close the thing so that I can type on the smaller screen, something like that, and it'll be, oh, force restart. And I'll be like, shoot, well, did I just lose all the data I was working on? And you open it back up, and yeah, it's gone. It's back to the main screen. So, don't close or open it while you're working on something important is really what I would say. That's the biggest real, could affect you at work issue that I've seen. This front screen, if you notice, it is, here we go, come on. It is really thin. You can see when I'm scrolling through Instagram, it's really thin. Things look a little different than what you would have on a bigger phone screen. I love that. I like the thin screen. You might not. There's issues with it. I think I mentioned it before with Snapchat. If you're taking photos on Snapchat, it'll be at this aspect ratio. It's still really, really satisfying to scroll through, though. If you're on Facebook or something that has a news feed, Twitter, Instagram, it feels like you're seeing more while you're scrolling. But if you wanted to scroll in on an image, you'd have to zoom in. Or you could just open it up, though, and you'd get the full image, right? Then if you're looking at it straight on, you lose that middle line that you're seeing right there. It's hard to really replicate that when you're looking through a video, but yeah, it's gone usually when you're looking straight on. Those are some of my best friends from Texas. I'm from Texas, yeah. Anyway, that's not something you guys care about. Other things that I could say about this phone. Now that I have the case, everything's a lot easier. If you don't have a case, opening and closing it will be very hard. It's very slippery. But with the case, there's no issue with that. There's a lot of accessories that you can get to it. The hardest part I've found for getting an accessory is getting an accessory that'll fit in my car to be able to have it mounted. I do have an accessory sitting around here somewhere for just mounting it in general. Did I knock it off my desk? I think I must have. Darn. I wanted to show you guys a specific accessory that I use, but I'm not seeing it. I had it on my desk, so there it is. Found it. This is going to come into your feed unedited, by the way, so if you saw all of me looking around for this accessory, congratulations. Have fun with that. This accessory cost me like $10. It's on Amazon. It's pretty cool because it's something that'll fit in a pocket, a bag, a cargo shorts, something like that. But if you open this up, pull it up here, split that open, these come down automatically. This right here can hold your phone. Boom. You can hold your phone like that. Or if you open it up, even better, hold your phone. It's a great accessory. This thing is fantastic. You can get something like this on Amazon. This is not the only one. I'm not going to include a link in the description because, honestly, there's probably 500 different versions of this that are out there. If you really want this specific one, just give me a message. But there's like these things. They'll sit you up and you'll have something that'll hold your phone in a position that's great. You would generally use that for watching movies, TV shows, stuff like that. There's other accessories that you can get. Any Bluetooth controller can work with this thing, just like any other Android product. You can take one of the newer age Xbox one controllers and Bluetooth hook it up to this, and you can play games. Now, I'll show you right now, one of my favorite games ever. I'm kind of a nerd. Is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I think I still have it installed. Let me check. I might have uninstalled it. Okay, so not Knights of the Old Republic, but let me look at the other games I have installed. We have Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire. Pop that open. Let it sign in. You're going to get stuff like full screen. It's going to look amazing. This kind of thing, you know, you get that. Slay the Spire's one. Magic the Gathering Arena. That's another one that I play pretty frequently. And it just looks amazing. Like, look at that. Beautiful colors and everything. And once you actually get into the game, it looks just like that. And it's fairly large, the screen. You close it up, you can still play your games. This is going to be one of those instances where I close this thing and it's going to be like app restarted because that game is not meant to be swapped. Oh, no, it didn't even. It actually continued on. Surprising, actually. Maybe it's because it still needs to download this update. But both screens are amazing. This is just a good product. I have almost no complaints. The ones that I have, I've explained to you. Slippy without the grippy, you know? Get a case, you're good to go. Battery power, I wear cargo shorts. I have an extra battery in my pocket at all times. Just have a battery available if you're going to hold on to a phone like this. I personally, I have a man bag. I am wearing something. Oh, the game is talking. Sorry. I'm wearing something like this at almost at any point in time. This thing goes over my shoulder or it connects to my belt. You know, I got a man bag. If you don't have a man bag and you're a man, get a man bag. It's easier. It's like, you know how women always want pockets? Why can't men have pockets and a bag? So I toss a battery in a bag. I have a wire with it. Boom, done, good to go. And you can also stick a bunch of other things in a bag like that. You can have a full-size drone, all right? When I say full-size drone, I mean you can actually have a man bag and then just stick a freaking drone in there, right? You just pop it open. Hey, look, I got a drone. I'm a cool guy. Get a man bag. That's not what this whole video is about, but get a man bag. You're gonna appreciate it. Nobody's gonna judge you. That matters, right? Because if they mattered, they'd have their own man bag. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, you got a phone that does everything that you need it to do. You can go on Excel documents. You can go on like Microsoft Word. You can go on anything work-related, Zoom meetings, calls, stuff like that with this phone. You're going to love it. I appreciate this phone. Get it. If you like this video, subscribe. I will catch you in the next one. Goodbye.